So what do you think? Was I right to worry? Fear is palpable. Yes, that is exactly it. People are overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear, and each new registration, that fear inside them grows more insistent. How long until it drives them into full-blown panic? Sika, can you come to resolution? We have a problem. I'm already here with Lama T and Alphanod. Sounds like she wants us there in a hurry. We should go.
What's happened? Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
Death is your constant companion. Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn. Though you enjoy a life of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you. Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function or fail. Be you stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning. The choice is made without reason. The end is cloaked in terror. That is what it means to die.
The announcement began after we finished our meeting with Gossamer. As for its source, well...
Alex.
There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to conquer death. Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity. Hope for it, wish for it, pray for it. We will become endless. With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
Change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step. But this is the right path for us. What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
Val Wuklemat! You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuliolal.
It's too dangerous to stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn on us?
Even if we wanted to become endless, there are no more Neo-regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion. No matter where we go, or who we shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
You already have a black one, dude.
Easy for you to say when you have that regulator.
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated. Tulichola will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
I want to help Alexandria. I want to save its people. But what can I do? I am not their queen.
First, those deadly malfunctions. Now, citywide announcement. Yes, spent considerable effort recruiting his 5,000 enlists. Perhaps more than necessary, even. We had the hopefuls who descended on Lam'i dispersed for now. We could see tempers in the crowd were starting to fray. Latest wave of attacks may not have been as widespread, but people are reaching their breaking point. We have to stop Calyx, and soon. My apologies, the sign is not responding to any of our attempts to change the display or switch it off. Sorry I couldn't be there in time. Crowd told me everything that happened while we were away. Calyx has access to the core system, which means that if he chose to do so, he could deploy the soldiers beyond the barrier. Even if our people learn to live with death and decide to leave the dome behind, they will not be beyond his reach. And if it serves to allay their fears even a little, I beg you, look, Lamont, please let them shelter into Tuliyollal. We will welcome any and all who want to come. We've already begun evacuations, and we'll be able to pick up the pace once the Lands Guard arrives. In which case, we had best spread out and keep an eye on the crowds. The mood is tense, and we must prepare for possible violence. Happen to determine where Calyx is hiding, though, we'll be ready to move at a moment's notice. Surely we'll find a clue of some kind soon. Can't elude us forever. Violence and fear. This is not the future she envisioned for her nation. So much of yourselves to aid those in need. I must endeavor to find my own small way to help. Tuliyollal would gladly welcome every last Alexandrian with open arms. But what of the nation the late queen was so desperate to preserve? What of that bright haven of peace and laughter? Look, Lamont. No. I won't stand here and let her legacy be sullied any further. I will protect Alexandria. It's the promise I made her at the last. But she betrayed you, did she not? Why do you feel this obligation? Saw myself in her, I suppose. We both felt the people's joy as our own, yet alone we lacked the strength to protect them. So much that I love in this world, too much for me to take in my arms to keep safe, and that made me afraid. I needed someone who shared that love and fear, so together we could do what we couldn't by ourselves. Or maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe I just wish that we could have been friends. So when she turned to me in her final hour, desperate to safeguard Alexandria's future, I swore that I would see it then. In the end, I think you both found the friend you needed. It would be yours as well soon. Whenever you fall or struggle to rise, I'll come running to the rescue, and you do the same for me. That's how we'll protect the things we love. That's how we'll protect Alexandria. You're right, you're right. Don't forget about me. How could we? We'd not be where we are now without you. Right, we got a bit sidetracked there. Should probably be on our way. Do we patrol or see if Shell needs a hand? There you all are. Galulja. Ah, splendid. We were afraid we'd miss you. Alice and the others said you were here. Good news. We finally found a chink in Calyx's armor. Discovered laboratories on Everkeep's 10th level that once housed a preservation initiative. Containment Complex 1029 is called, and it's been falsely registered as a distribution center. In reality, it hasn't received any traffic in decades. Don't think this is where Calyx is hiding as such, but it may well contain clues that point us in the right direction. Sorry it took this long to just get this far. If you're interested, what do you say we all go and check it out together? Thank you for all your hard work. It's a huge step forward. And up. We need to take the lift to get to the complex. I've cleared the expedition with the relevant authorities and have one of our people waiting to operate said lift. Let's not keep her waiting. Aww. No, not here. Preservation Laboratory. A shudder to think of what they were researching. It's no time to be squeamish. Shell made me her assistant. She's teaching me the basics of data management. Sounds like good old Jaw played a big part in this breakthrough. I'll be sure to treat him to a fine feast once this is all over. I'll share the method we used to find the containment complex once we're inside. Wasn't actually all that different to the story how we stumbled across the back room. Ready, head on up. Next stop, 10th level.
So this is one of Preservation's laboratories.
It's so dark I can barely see.
Just a moment. If I can reroute the power to the circuit.
I think it'd be booby-trapped.
You got the lights working!
Smell how stale the air is. This room hasn't been in use for many years.
It was thanks to Krile and Galulja that we managed to locate this place.
You may remember that my earring contained the control code for the gate to the Golden City. As it was Preservation that constructed the portal, we reasoned that the code to operate it might include a signature of some sort, unique to their organization.
So I took a closer look, and a line-by-line examination yielded a string of symbols identifying the code's author. We then began accessing the nodes for every door in Everkeep, seeking out control codes which contained those same symbols. After a grueling search, we finally discovered our prize behind door number 1860, the entrance to the facility in which we now stand. I'd probably still be at it if Galulja hadn't been around to assist me.
I took breaks, but Shale never stopped working. Not even once.
You're a treasure, Shale.
I can contribute precious little else, I'm afraid, but I appreciate your kind words. In any case, this next part will require your helping hands.
We need to spread out and search for something that may lead us to Calyx. We're more than happy to help, of course, but I wonder, won't he realize we've found this place?
It's highly likely, and personally I hope he does.
You all know our main objective. We're here to pick up Calyx's shell. I'll learn a certain device that should help us do just that. Explain how as we proceed, but according to the information I was able to dredge up, the device in question should have been installed in the director's office. Now, as for where that might be, yes, this map matches my data. This room we're in is the Researcher's Commons, located in the western side of the complex. The director's office is to the northeast of here. So here. So we should cut across the circular chamber in the middle, yes. Yes, we should, but... fortunately for us, the interior door is locked. We need a security key with the appropriate clearance to open it. Judging by the mechanism, it'll probably be a card of some kind. Can't you know, work some electro magic? I'll try my best, but this type of lock is well before my time. It may take a while to crack it. In case I can't, you might want to look for around, see if anyone left a security card behind. Considering the state of the place, it does seem like they amended it in some haste. I shouldn't be surprised if we found one. For real, let's get to searching, shall we? This is the escape room I've heard about. Such will have the most luck looking where the researchers kept their personal belongings. Begin searching Containment Complex 1029. Close cooperation will be necessary to overcome the obstacles barring your path forward. Ah, yeah, it is. Hopefully, hints will appear in a pink. Pay close attention to the information provided by your comrades should you find yourself unable to proceed. Few documents sit in an untidy stack atop the desk. Find no security cards. Small shelving unit holds the office supplies and little else of note. Appears to be the only desk with drawers already open. Till a glance, the desk former owner has left some things behind. Discover card-shaped object. The electric surface is marked with a bold level on it. Could that be looking for? Try it on the door and see if it opens. Looks like it could be a security card. Let's see if it works. No luck so far. This pen had nothing in it at all. Of course they'll make that reference. It's really a preservation laboratory? I thought there'd be something more, I don't know, special about it. Shelves are almost entirely bare, but I'll examine the files to be certain. The arcane circuits in use here are decades old. I'll keep at it, but a security card might be the only way we're getting past this lock anytime soon. Electrope has many uses. It's open, you did it. And a good thing too, it's getting nowhere with that outdated circuit. I am curious though, why would they abandon a facility like this? Whoops. It's run by Director Demetrius, or so that terminal there told me. Perhaps there are more answers to be had once we venture further inside. Let's continue onwards. The door to the Director's office is across the hub. Another lock. No good. Maybe we need a different card. Scanners demanding level 3 security clearance to open the lock. Much as the delay chafes me, we'll have to comb through the nearby rooms and hope we stumble upon the card we need. Start a search in the Proto Lab. The door's already open, at least. We will find a way through together, Shell. I'm sure of it. I should have talked to them. Oh well. Please excuse my impatience. The means of track down Calyx are close, and I'm itching to get my hands on them. Dug through this data tablet and found a journal. I'll read it to you. The results of experiment 158 show a marked improvement in aether extraction rates. At last, we have achieved the target value set by Master Calyx. 158. Though I will become endless as per Ascendancy protocols, I will preserve this historic number along with my few remaining worldly effects. Preserve the number, I mean. Researcher's personal data tablet. The day I began my appointment at Preservation, the organization was unfamiliar to me, but when the recruitment later arrived, I had a gut feeling that this work would be far more fulfilling than any orthodox medical practice. My instincts are correct. Master Calyx's philosophy is a refined ideal of notions I've only ever vaguely entertained. That mankind must evolve beyond the shackles of its flesh and blood existence. At a meeting with Director Demetrius today, I've heard others praise his genius intellect, yet he seems but a guttering candle in comparison to Master Calyx's blinding brilliance. This morning I was permitted to access the top floor and observe the workings of living memory. As predicted, the shortage of aether required to sustain the Endless is reaching critical levels, yet Queen Steen insists on continuing her ineffectual flailing. Our Malala colleagues, including the Proto-Lab chief, have been behaving in a decidedly suspicious manner of late. Should I report my concerns to the Director? From tomorrow I've been assigned to assist with the research project in the Deutera Lab. We are scheduled to conduct a major experiment, the details of which I have been kept ignorant. It would seem prudent to back up my memory data. King feeds into a soul cell. I reminded of my imprisonment by the Empire. Surely this device wasn't made to hold people. Notes seem to be about the research they did in here. Let's take a look. Experiment 158. Submitting inference candidate 201930. Be considered for efficiency procedure review. Experiment 158, maximum value of 11509. Recorded. Comparative study to be included in the report? Alright then. Oh, one more. Experiment 163. New proposal produced a result of 9834. Well, I have no idea what any of that means. Maybe it'll make sense later on. The way this room is set up, the canister inserted into that large device looks to be a soul cell. Could this be where they conducted their experiments to create Endless? But we could probably spend days investigating this complex. Finding a way in the director's office must take precedence. Speaking of which, Khalil Jaw mentioned a locker over in the corner that he couldn't open. Perhaps he could take a look. Locker door shut tight. The number pad suggests that inputting the correct combination will open it. Glean some numerical data during the investigation. Attempt to enter the combination. Select the number keys on the pad to input a combination. Enter up to 5 digits, then press the confirm key. It's the only 5-digit number that we got. Locker pops open. Inside you discover level 2 security card. Stika, you got the locker open. And you found another security card. Oh. Does that say level 2? We need level 3, didn't we? Yes, but still open more doors for us to explore. You did well. Preservation members led such surprisingly normal lives, leaving notes, losing the cards. I guess I imagine they'd be more, what's the word, bloodless? Mechanical? Parents were once a part of preservation, if you recall. Seemed the researchers here agreed with Calyx and his philosophy and underwent the conversion to endless entities. But I assume those who could not, or would not, eventually left the organization altogether. I almost forgot, the researchers kept their journals and their data tablets. The one I read doesn't explain much, but something big happened in the complex, and afterwards it decided that everyone would become endless. Oh. Must be something they couldn't afford to get out. The writer was really happy about this. You could tell how much they admired Calyx and his work. The entries ended after that, but maybe you can read more in the other tablet there. Right, let's move this investigation to another room. Well, we have the Datura lab and the maintenance facilities left to search. Both are accessed via the southeast corridor. So it's back to the hub and locked door across the way. Which hopefully yield before our nearest security card. I'll take the old one if you like. I doubt we'll have any more use for it. Nothing more to examine, right? No, okay. Yes, it opened. So where should we go first? The Datura lab or facilities? Let's start with the lab. Doesn't seem to be any power here. No, none at all. It's possible the energy supply of this room is on a separate conduit, which means there should be a contingency for opening the door. Look here, there's a sign above the card scanner. In case of emergency, backup power can be routed from facilities. Facilities room is down the other branch of this corridor. Let's see about getting the power stored in the Datura lab, shall we? Oh, a puzzle. Rumors for managing the power supply and utilities. Hope to get security cars in here as well. Talk to all 5 of them every time. Engaging power supply. No good. It's turning an error. There must be a preliminary procedure. According to this error code reference, if the power supply has been interrupted for an extended period of time, then we need to reconfigure both the emergency generator and the circuit control panels. Shell? That's the emergency generator over there, isn't it? Yes, and by the looks of it, it's the same model as the one used in Heritage Found. But how does it send power to the other lab? Ah, I see. The energy cable attached to the base of this terminal leads down the hall, directly to the Datura lab. So we need a way to connect the generator to that cable. But these patterns on the floor, could this be the circuit we need to reconfigure? I believe we have the right of it. Using the control panel set into each of the tiles will create an unbroken path for the power to follow. What I wouldn't give for an instruction manual. Dude, if you could look around for any written procedures, I'll keep digging through the terminal's directories. Might I also ask someone to operate the generator? I can do it. I've used that type of machine before. Would you be willing to try and reconfigure the circuit path? Yes. The rest of us can help by supplying your Seeker with whatever information might be found on this circuitry configuration. God, so much dialogue. Normally all for it, but this seems superfluous. Appear to be data logs from a former age. My scholarly interest is piqued by a few of the labels, but none are relevant to the task at hand. Also, I had no luck locating more security cars, which have to rely upon our backup power strategy, I'm afraid. Take a look at this diagram. Note on the bottom left about backup power. Configure the force circuit control panel to provide an uninterrupted path. That's literally what they just said. It's hard to make out the rest. Assuming these are 4 tile patterns, the bottom right is a square and the top right is half a circle? Something you can get you started at least. Turner doesn't seem to need any fancy settings. As long as it's turning and the circuit is fixed, you have a power supply ready to go. So, well, look, that's part of a warning sign behind the containers. From what I can make out, it said, "Caution, circuit will not function with duplicate patterns." Suppose that means only one of each circuitry pattern. Yeah. Really what people were complaining about? Because this is easy. It worked. We did it. The Datura lab should now be fully powered. Well done, everyone. If I may, Shell, could we access a certain data log before moving on? Checking storage shells. One of the labels caught my eye. Preservation, the early days, is in the title. Of course, it'll only take a moment to bring up the contents. God, couldn't they voice act this part? God. It looks to be a text-based account. I read it out. Preservation, an Alexandrian Institute for Technological Development. It's founded by Calyx, an 11-year-old child prodigy. Approval for establishing the organization came during Alexandria's involvement in the Storm Surge, with Calyx's designs for new defensive solutions funded in large part by the Treasury. Conflicts grew in intensity and casualties mounted. Calyx funneled preservation's resources towards the perfection of memory storage. Research into this field continued even after the storm surge came to an end, with Calyx eventually electing to preserve his own memories in a virtual domain. So this is a cat from before he embraced his endless existence hundreds of years ago. Met him only once before the storm surge began, ascending my father. He was then reigning king of Alexandria. Calyx could not have been more than 10 years of age and required constant treatment for his debilitating illness. But he still published theories so highly regarded that even the royal family was aware of his achievements. Life should not be lost to the injustice of death. Even now I can hear the single-minded will behind his words. So it was that when war came to our kingdom, my father was quick to commit his unwavering support to this somber youth and his proposals for preservation. Several years later, the ensuing violence brought the death of both my parents. Overwhelmed as I was by sudden succession to the throne, I suspect they spared me the reports on endless research and other less urgent matters. She had no way of knowing what kind of person Calyx was changing into. Did he change? I wonder. Perhaps he has ever been the type to value ideals over compassion, and I failed to see it at the time. Or perhaps he did change, but it's still driven by those same deeply held beliefs, that mortality is cruel and just, and his role is to deliver mankind from this fate. Whatever the case may be, we cannot allow him to shape our future. Let's press on, shall we? I unfortunately only speak English. Uli? Done my job correctly. The door to the Turo lab should be accessible now. I'll give everything a once over just to be sure. Energy current system seems stable enough. Still, you should let me handle this one. Security card, if you please. Oh, and a quick prayer that a shorted wire doesn't burn me from the inside out. Phew, smooth as silk. Let's head inside, see what awaits. Odds above, isn't that? The key to interdimensional fusion? Looks to be a schematic on the monitor. And they've used it to make another key, but isn't it missing the shard inside like the one Rasika has? Ah, we may have been laboring under a misconception. The key was originally a Malala relic. Once this treasure came into its possession, preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that all the vessel's components were constructed here, so what might that tell us? Just a device they made to control it. That would be the logical conclusion. Yes, it is as my parents explained. He remains shrouded in mystery. Preservation augmented it with electro, but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion. Not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, nor why. That makes sense. Calyx can track the key because its vessel was made by preservation. I believe there is much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist the Shtola's assistance for a thorough investigation. I too am curious about a great many things, but pinning down Calyx's whereabouts is our priority. Hopefully there's a security card here that grants access to the director's office. Research conducted in this lab appears to have been highly confidential in nature. Some of personnel must have belonged to the organization's upper echelons, and that means higher security clearance. Spread out and look for any cards left behind. Remember, anything less than level 3 is no good to us. Checking. Cameras or anything to go by, this lab was under constant surveillance. I'll scan the recordings, try to spot where people left the security cards. Maybe we'll get lucky. That is pretty cool looking. Started looking shelving unit hold a storage crate and sealed barrels. No sign of any security cards. Found a security card in a cabinet drawer. Wow. Oh, did you just find a security card? Well, that's a stroke of luck. Let's have Shell examine to be sure. Keep holding out hope that I'll find some evidence of my parents here, despite knowing there is none. Maybe someone left a card on a shelf somewhere. I'll search through these drawers. One of us is bound to find something, I'm sure of it. Why were they making so many vessels? Did the other ones not work properly? I mean, probably. Or there's more crystals. Maybe. Oh well, if it isn't exactly what we needed, nice work. Oh, level 3, that should get us into the director's office. So what was it you were hoping to find in there again, Shell? You were saying that a certain device is going to help us? Right, I would probably explain myself how about I'm looking for a data relay. After we discovered this ostensibly abandoned complex, I performed a cursory investigation which detected a connection to an outside network. When I traced the data's routing, I confirmed traffic from a web of Everkeep security cameras. Considering the way Calyx is always one step ahead of us, we must assume he's quietly seized control of the city's surveillance system and has been using it to monitor our activities. To monitor what you, as the keyholder, are planning. Since Calyx is the ultimate recipient of those transmissions, the flow of data is like a river that we can follow back to him. Which is why I need the data relay. If I can analyze the device and see where it's rerouting all the surveillance traffic, then you can pinpoint Calyx's position. That said, he has done nothing to impede our progress, which makes me think I might be on entirely the wrong track. Maybe the reason he isn't stopping us is because he can't. Back in the old castle, Calyx said he was measuring Rasika's strength. What can he possibly dream up that's stronger than her? Well, speaking of cameras, there's another thing I meant to mention. I found evidence that someone deliberately disabled the surveillance feed in this room. The most recent recording was also crudely deleted. I was able to restore the data though, if you'd like to see it. So, start the show. It's gonna be Kryle's parents, of course. No.
Are you really planning to leave?
Yes. The idea of eternal life. It's begun to frighten me. I struggle to renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches, leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall. We die so that our species may flourish. What would become of mankind were we to halt that process? If unending stagnation is the fruit of our labor, then perhaps we strive for the wrong thing.
That's completely what Endwalker was about.
Your argument is a rejection of Master Calix's vision.
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on the subject. But I cannot. He and I are too different. In too many ways. I lack his extraordinary genius. I had no illness threatening to cut my life short, no singularity of will to cut away all distractions and focus solely upon research. I have nothing but respect for his determination. The way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself. But I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path. That's why I've decided to leave preservation and put all my effort towards building a legacy for the next generation to come. Surely you
saw that coming.
Protocol, you understand. There can be no exceptions.
But they're not voice acted. She only wanted to leave and he executed her. Check the images against the personnel data, and the man who pulled the trigger was Director Demetrius himself. Everything I could find on him pointed to a deep infatuation with Master Calix. The cameras in this room have been out of operation ever since that incident. Given that the recording was erased, I can only assume he was trying to conceal this grisly deed from the other researchers. I'm not surprised, given how my parents described their defection from the Institutes. Spoke of rushing me through a portal, even as preservation agents closed in on them. Dared not ask what became of them after that, but if it turns out they were captured by their pursuers... They did not regret their actions. Right, the Echo. Knowing you saw them as they were, your words give me great comfort. Oh, Kryle. Wearing that swing, thanks to the haven of living memory, I was at least able to meet my parents and learn what they stood for. It is enough for me to carry on. Even now, we don't know how the conflict unfolded between your parents and preservation. What we do know is that your mother and father cleverly expunged every last trace of their movements. They made sure no one crossing the doors would threaten their child's safety. Right, let's press on, shall we? This tale behind the key deserves a fitting conclusion. To the director's office. Find that data relay. Don't be shy, everyone. Speak up if anything odd catches your eye. Come with me. I might have need of that security card. Report on reducing people to Aether and how much energy can be harnessed per individual. Yeesh. Oh, my apologies. Just think about the key. Something odd, something odd. Dr. Demetrius was very particular about how he decorated his office. Got incense and vases and some kind of gem display. Damn, this terminal isn't connected to any outside network, so it can't be the data relay I'm looking for. The office is also smaller than the map suggested. I'm positive we're in the right room. What am I missing? Sorry, Risika, could I ask you and the others to search the office for any clues to this infuriating puzzle? Collection of soul cells may have once belonged to the director. They appear to be empty. Find a crumpled note wedged between the file binders. Secure room lift access. Requires passwords to input simultaneously at terminals in the Proto Lab, Tutorial Lab, and Director's Office. Dormant for years, and now active coffee maker has already entered a self-cleaning cycle. Appears to have no other purpose beyond brewing coffee, though it remains to be seen when it will be able to do so once more. Amongst other personal effects, you find what is presumably the director's data tablet. Closed locker stands next to the table. Examine the data tablet. Pick the data tablet and begin skimming through the contents. Daily reports. Nothing to note. The mystery of the key's activation condition remains unsolved. Key triggered an explosion today. Temporary interdimensional portal verified. Continued attempts to stabilize the core's energy reactions. 13 researchers sustained fatal injuries in the explosion. Memory faculties of 4 personnel sufficiently intact for endless conversion. Remaining 9 designated for Aether reclamation processing. Nothing to note. Rejected resignations of 2 Malala researchers. Major incident. Details in full report. Those 2 Annette Malala broke with preservation and absconded with the key. Though the fugitives have since been caught and eliminated, we were too late to recover the relic. The only reason we retained our flesh was to serve Master Calyx as physical instruments to conduct his experiments. Deprived of the object of her research, her existence serves no further purpose. I dare not imagine the depths of his disappointment in me. Complex is to be shut down. All personnel will have their bodies reduced to Aether, which will be allocated for further experimentation. Memory data will be archived. Any endless conversions will be subject to Master Calyx's discretion. If he does not deem us fit, then we are not deserving of eternal life. All personnel have undergone processing. Once the shutdown protocols have been completed, I'll proceed with my own corporeal dissolution. As long as the key remains in the physical world, we must keep this complex in pristine condition. Whether it be needed for experiments or otherwise, it must be ready to support future operations in whatever capacity Master Calyx requires. To that end, facility equipment will be maintained in stasis mode. Furthermore, a critical component for secure room access will be stored separately to defend against unauthorized entry. The door to the locker swings open easily. Oh god. Contains nothing to note. You quietly shut the locker door. He wasn't obsessed with Calyx at all. We found something. The crumpled note. Thank you. Misplaced note, was it? With instructions for accessing his room, no less. Seems we need to enter a password on 3 different terminals at the same time. Okay, enough. Jesus Christ. There's no such room marked on the map, was there? No, a precautionary measure, no doubt. If passwords are involved, I expect the access lift itself is concealed too. No, precautionary. Yeah, I already read that. Concealed by Electrope, you mean? Ah, could it be that wall? I thought it seemed odd when I walked past. Remember what Kachiya used to say, Shell? Never trust an Electrope surface. Electrope isn't always what it appears to be. You can pass right through Electrope. Oh, of course, Electrope is how you alter the look of all of Solution 9's floors and walls, isn't it? In which case, it shouldn't be too hard to disable. Another door. Managed to deactivate protection, but the lock is another story. Didn't the note lay out the password protocol, so we go ahead and try it. Agree, 2 people should prepare the lab terminal's input while the rest of us look for passwords here in the office. I'll take the proto lab. Take the Deutero lab. Actually, it might be better if you stayed, seeing your knowledge of Alexandria and his people could be needed here. Yes, you're right. If the passwords are hiding behind clues, that may be something I can help with. I can help too. I've lived my whole life in Alexandria after all. I will take the Deutero lab duty, then we can keep in touch via communicator to match our timing. Sika, you shall have the honor of entering the office password. Once we determine what we need to input, take your place at this terminal. Stand by the guide, Wook, Lamut, and Cryo. You know, there was that display plate over there, the one with gems. I thought it was made to cut, but it might have some other purpose. But I couldn't find any switches or buttons to make it do anything. Maybe you can figure it out. Needs an emerald. You've located Director Demetrius' personal data tablet. Oh no, I don't need that. There we go, to discover no clue. I must have missed an emerald somewhere. Data terminal. That was useless. There's nothing to interact with, though. I figured I missed picking up something. Oh, looks like it has to be in that room. Okay. Oh, it's been hyper specific before. Oh. See, if we move this bit, the connective circuit to that one there. Huh, there's something inside. That's a pretty green stone. I think it might be Alexandrite. Say these gems were so treasured in the past that they named the kingdom after them. Here, you show on this one just in case. That was fucking simple. Gemstone fits snugly into place. Also, almost immediately afterwards, the glowing lines of a diagram appear on the display, accompanied by a short phrase. Floor plan of this complex. Sapphire for Proto. Darn it. Yes, I know the jewel coming in. Let me see. Heed the stones. This will be about the special meanings Alexandrians have for gems. Slow belief, I think. Each type of gem means something different. I bet if you ask Sphene, she could tell you more about it. After all, even her name comes from a gemstone. Sphene. Yes, if you have questions, need only ask. Symbolism of Alexandrite. I was taught that Alexandrite resembles protection. It is, incidentally, also the order in Alexandria's name. Are you thinking this has something to do with the passwords? Sapphire and Garnet as well, you say? Yes, they all have meanings. Alexandrite is his protection. Sapphire, honesty. Garnet is devotion. Try these words in terminals, see if they've accepted. I certainly hope we're right. All set to go here. Wiclamot and Carl are just waiting on their passwords. Start Wiclamot and the Proto Lab. What word should she enter? Honesty. The Turo Lab is protection. Devotion. Wait, I did that wrong. Be devotion. This one's protection. I wrote it wrong. Yes. I'm so glad that worked. That secure room is the only place you've yet to search. If there is anywhere, it has to be there. We'll venture soon as Luke Lamont Crowder join us.
This terminal doesn't look special to me, but this is definitely what we're after?
It is, but whether or not it will suffice for our purposes is another question.
The Endless are created using the memories of the deceased. But as memories are, in essence, collections of data, the resultant entities have no physical form. These data entities, as we might call them, have only two methods for interacting with the material world. One of these we saw in Living Memory, where the Endless are granted temporary bodies through the use of corporeal ether. They become much like solid ghosts that one can see and touch. The other method, which Kafkiwa employed, is the remote operation of a machine. But where do you suppose the Endless are to be found when not inhabiting a physical body?
The Endless are memories, and if memories are data, then...
Yes, we suspect they reside in a virtual domain, one contained entirely within an electrope-based machine. We've seen such a realm before, after all.
Oh, you mean like the Alexandria made from the Endless Fiend's memories? It all seems so real.
So this virtual domain, it would also be housed within the Meso terminal.
But how? I thought we shut down all the terminals in Living Memory.
You did. And Kafkiwa's program performed just as she intended. The Meso terminal itself was deactivated, as evidenced by the failure of the device which was keeping Spheen's body in stasis. Be that as it may, we face a master of electrope engineering. That he managed to partition and protect a sector harboring his own memories is well within the bounds of possibility.
Let us say that the Meso terminal does indeed contain a second domain, and that Calix himself resides there. This city, on the other hand, exists here in the Source. That being the case, I thought perhaps we could prevent his remote interference by closing the gate to the Golden City, and thus severing the connection between worlds.
Except I tried to close it once already when I visited Living Memory. The process required administrative authorization, a restriction I assumed at the time had been imposed by the Queen.
But now you think Calyx might be responsible.
Just as I suspected. Even now, security transmissions from throughout the Keep are being tapped by the core system and routed elsewhere. Almost every single one has you as its focus. He's keeping track of the keyholder's movements.
Time's up, and what a waste of time it's been.
Hey, finally.
Hoping to find me by tracing security data? That will not be necessary. Through a not inconsiderable effort, I've taken your measure and prepared a force sufficient to subdue you. Come. I invite you to the upper reaches of the Meso Terminal. The storage device which holds my memories is there. Break the memory bank and victory is yours. I, in turn, will seek to wrest the key from you with any and every means at my disposal.
And if we refuse this invitation?
I will wait, and continue to convert Alexandrians into Endless. Consider the urgency of the situation and make the wiser choice.
Answer me one question, Calyx. The Endless Fiend. When she was queen, you had her face an impossible task, then manipulated her into using the key when she was at her most desperate. If you can do all that, then why not whisk it away when her plans went to ruin? Why let it fall into our hands?
That is a good question.
You pour salt in the wound. That disaster was a miscalculation on my part. As her end drew near, Sphene and her restructured memories have become one with the Terminal's control systems. In that singular place, in that singular moment, she wielded an authority greater than mine. Thus she was able to shield you, the neighboring sovereign to whom she entrusted her nation's future, and the hero to whom she entrusted that priceless key. I am unsure to what degree she perceived my presence, but she knew that someone was watching. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
It does. And I'm satisfied that you will take nothing more from this nation. Not one more life, not one more future, not one single smile from another child's face. You hear me? Sorry for losing my temper, but there's only one way we can deal with people like Calyx. Whatever grand future he envisions, someone will be made to pay the price. And I won't let that happen.
He's wrong if he thinks he's taken our measure. He doesn't know about dinos.
If I may, I realize it is not my place to say this. Even so, I must thank you both. On behalf of my other self, allow me to say how grateful I am to have you as our champions.
So am I finally going to the dungeons? Meanwhile, in the missile terminal. Oh, no, okay. Phew, well, that was an adventure. May not have been by the methods Shale was hoping for, but at least now we know where to find Calyx and what we need to do next. Indeed, while I remain curious about Preservation's research into the key, that is an investigation for another day. And let's head straight to the back room. We should get everyone on the same page before we make our move. Damn that bastard Calyx. He waited until I was this close before snatching away my moment of triumph. That infuriating, condescending way you spoke to us. We'll see whose time is up, you smug little weasel. Anyway, I know things didn't go to plan, but we learned a great deal about preservation. That knowledge could come in handy in the days to come. Though I may not be able to contribute much to direct confrontation, I mean to see this through with you all, providing what support I can. Sika, we've briefed Erenville on everything that's happened and sent word to others. We've now but to consider what our next actions will be. Enter the missile terminal, obviously. Why are we using the key? Ugh. Calyx has offered you the opportunity to confront him directly. Though it feels much like starting face first into an ambush, we have little choice. If we are to destroy the memories he supposedly has stored in the upper reaches of the missile terminal, then that is where we must go. While I'm still upset at being deprived of my moment, I nevertheless did my due diligence. I confirmed that the relay we found was indeed transmitting surveillance data to a device somewhere in living memory. Go to fight Calyx, pray let me fight alongside you. Let me fight for the memory of Otis and Zelenia, and for other Sphene I may have become. But most importantly, for Ralovi Kingdom and a joyful tomorrow. Always been your fight as much as hers, if not more. Thank you for understanding what this means to me. I'll be coming with you as well, you know my reasons. Already saying, but your fellow Scions also have every intention of accompanying you into battles. So adamant are Alice and the others on this point that they have already left for living memory. I'm more than ready to do the same. I keep patrolling the streets for signs of trouble, especially from anyone wearing neo-regulators. Kinda wish I made him a Beastmaster. If you need anything from me, I'll be on standby here in the back room. I really want to go with you too, but I know I can't. I know that sometimes you have to be patient and trust in your friends. Oh, Rasika, Crown, I think that we should talk to Gosam before we leave for living memory. Under Calyx's direction, preservation has helped shape Alexandria's society for centuries. Taking him down will have serious consequences, and we need to warn the officials in charge about what we intend. Justifications aside, we shall be acting against the wishes of all who desire to become endless. Exactly, we don't know if Gossen will approve or oppose our chosen course, but either way, leaving without a word is the wrong thing to do. Come, we should be on our way. Resolution first, yes. Safe everyone, see you when it's over. Music. You gotta wonder about all the people praying this. Well, that one dude praying to death doesn't bode well. Only one 9 boss that could be.
I see. A difficult situation. In the absence of an official sovereign, I agree that it is not Preservation's place to dictate the future of our nation. However, I also cannot simply take a side and declare my support for your efforts to defeat Calyx.
Is that because of the new regulator you wear?
I've yet to register it. I find myself caught between the fear of dying and the desire to carry out the duties of governance. My greatest concern is how we shall stem this ever-increasing terror of mortality when becoming endless is no longer an option. And that's to say nothing of the recent slaughter committed by our own soldiers. The fact that such violence was perpetrated for the very purpose of creating Endless will, paradoxically, make it more difficult to endorse your chosen course. It may not seem logical, but for those who lost friends and family in the attacks, halting the creation process altogether would render the deaths of their loved ones utterly meaningless. Is it not cruel to rob them of what little solace they could claim, when we have only just learned what it is to mourn? Tell me, how are we meant to overcome such tragedies?
We stop begging others to teach us for a start. For the longest time, we've been protected by Queen Sphene and the systems put in place by our forebears. The hardships and responsibilities of life were distant things, and we felt entitled to our comforts, even as we barely noticed those who risked everything to keep us sheltered. But no more. From now on, we need to learn on our own. How to live with the promise of death. How to endure the pain of loss. We may never learn to love such things, but we may learn to survive them. The people beyond the barrier, even the Alexandrians of old, they've all had to live with these fears. There's no reason we can't do it too.
What are you all doing here?
Malachite called us in, and the Oblivion members briefed us on the current crisis. You don't stand idly by while your house burns down. We came together and thought about how we could help.
Long story short, we've decided to join the fight alongside Oblivion. I say fight, but we're well aware of how little use we'd be in actual combat.
A battle of ideas, on the other hand. Now that we might be qualified to do something about. We'll talk to our neighbors and do our best to quell their fears. Convince them to make the most of this life and enjoy all it has to offer. Perhaps that will help to ease your burden.
It certainly will. Even if a few are assuaged by your words, it will make things easier.
Those who have already registered will be difficult to sway, but there are still many who waver. Those are the ones we'll concentrate on.
Gossen, if you truly care for the people of Alexandria, then now's the time to start thinking of ways to prevent more deaths.
Were I to become endless at the expense of my countrymen's lives, I would regret it for the rest of my existence. Forgive my weakness. When the people have lost their way, it falls to the government to support and guide them. Alexandria can rise above this sorrow and find its way forward once more. Is that not so, Your Majesty?
Indeed it is. No, that wasn't... what I meant to say was...
Calm down, Sphene.
Lamity, you used her name.
The perfect resemblance to our beloved Queen Sphene has not escaped our notice. Yet we also understand that you are not her. Having to live in secret, unable to share who you really are, that must have been hard on you. When you come back, please tell us all about yourself. I imagine yours is a rather outlandish story, but we're eager to hear it all the same. You're one of us, an Alexandrian, and we don't abandon our own.
I promise to return. And when I do, I look forward to speaking with you all.
Now, if that wasn't a death flag. You guys, so those systems have been difficult to make. If only I could claim the courage to do so came from within. The final push came from Alexandria citizens, and the bravery in taking the first step towards change. Speaking of which, can I ask you to lock that Neo-regulator away where no one can get to it? That should prevent the registrations from reaching the target number. Should be glad to do so, but I fear it would be to no avail. According to our most recent surveys, the number of Neo-regulators in circulation exceeds the stated 5,000. Surmise the surplus units are to account for those like myself who have had a change of heart, or are otherwise hesitant to register. Ah, that does sound like something Calyx would do. Well, we'll have to face him either way, so point delaying of on to living memory. Erenville.
Things seem much the same.
Music is great.
So listen, you have nothing more to fear than any other normal day. Deep breaths. We'll get through this.
You'd be telling them much the same if you were here. I suppose it falls to me now.
The Kachuya keychain. For living memory. Oh, literally right here. It's good to see your comrades telling girded for battle. As for us, we've been ahead to inspect the lay of the land. There were no changes in note, aside from with the Meso Terminal itself. Why, what's happened to the Meso Terminal? Walls receded to provide a convenient entrance into the structure's interior. There was no such ingress when last we were here, so we must assume that Calyx has since manipulated the terminal's electrode. All to facilitate his most gracious invitation to the upper levels. An invitation I am eager to accept. For the sake of all who love Alexandria, I will not yield nor leave them to despair. A terminal invitation. Believer, everyone determined to be here is present and accounted for. Shall we make our way to the terminal? We wouldn't wish to keep our insistent host waiting. Yeah. I'll never need another mount in this game again. These wings are too good. And block you. Here we are again, facing another battle to cite Alexandria's fate. For 4 centuries I slept here. Upon awakening, I found the world as I knew it had changed. So frightened at first, I couldn't recognize a single thing and thought everything allowed had gone to dust. Yet beneath the unfamiliar surface, much remained the same. For that, I give thanks to Otis and Zelenia and their royal knights who laid their lives on the line to defend their way alive. Like every Alexandrian who believed in our future and passed on our legacy. I thank you all for kindling this hope in my heart, this courage to take up arms and fight once more. So let's make our stand together and fight for what we hold dear. Kind and gentle Queen Sphene was too weak to serve her people, and so she will serve them no more. Freed from conscience, I shall become a ruler that can protect Alexandria, devourer of worlds. Together we stand, together we fight. My gratitude, and surely Otis and Zelenia will join us in spirit. Let's head inside and finish this. Up reaches of this terminal waste this device which holds Calyx's memories. It falls to us to make the climb and destroy it once and for all. We must bring matters to a definitive end. Will not suffer him to cause Alexandria further harm nor claim the key. Queen entrusted it to Rusika for a good reason, and besides, 'twould be a tragedy indeed to relinquish a relic with so much research potential. Apparently, Calyx thinks he's taking your measure. I urge you to correct that misguided assumption. A whole lot could occur, yet would still counsel caution. That he would be so bold as to extend this invitation bespeaks tremendous confidence in his preparations. Come, friends, we set forth into the midst of dreaming endless. Grab a drink.
Two can fight.
I guess that makes my party decided for me then, huh?
Ever ready.
I could have swore the others could also be healer, tank, etc. Like the music. Look.
Come. I'll begin by wearing you down.
And I really did nerf my AoE.
I've created new Endless for you. Not all the warriors, but they will follow orders. Kill and survive and so forth. Here, I shall prepare the stage for battle.
This sure is interesting. I'm gonna have to go way too far to get the other pack.
Allow me.
Oh. Messed that up.
Hold still.
All the electric stick people. I have more HP than our tank. It's always a good feeling.
The memories of a
Perversion General.
One who saves lives should be reluctant to die.
Not Igdistis, but a Hegemon.
Hold still.
Oh.
special for you.
Hold on.
Interesting.
Something special for you.
You've overburdened the system. No matter, it served its purpose.
Pretty cool looking.
Allow me.
Next, you visit a prison of sinister repute. I need not compel them to fight.
Prison. Interesting. Helix really doesn't care. Not that we didn't already know that, but...
Take this!
should have pulled him a little further. Oh well.
Something special for you.
Now I'll show you. Hold still.
And nothing that's a 9 reference that I can see.
These are loyal executioners. They shall deal appropriately with criminals. Your sentence is death. How long can you defy it?
With every note of my being.
Criminals may run, but they cannot escape.
Well, this is cool. We need more bosses like this. I like this. Ow. Oh. Well, that was dumb.
Your sentence is death. How long can you defy it? Criminals may run, but they cannot escape.
Oh. That was mean.
Good. I bid you continue on.
Ow. Motherfuck. Those things hurt. Try that again, except get away faster. First one's gonna be way out from the pack. Maybe that's still close enough. Yeah. No.
Allow me.
Memories from an age rife with death. The desperation will serve well. The enemy is at the gate. To arms, good soldiers, protect your kingdom.
Although this is the end from 9, if I remember correctly. La 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 la.
Very well. If one by one they fall, I'll send them all as one. Recall the anguish you felt when you faced death, and rise. Rise to defend your nation, your people, and your loved ones.
Memory meld. That's pretty cool looking.
Rise and meet the foe before you. An amalgam of memories. Let us see how it fares.
Ow.
It is the midst of the storm surge.
Allow me.
Pretty cool.
Countless lives are lost in the senseless conflict. The war swells in scope and intensity.
I bet. Yeah.
The bombs rain down without pause or mercy. The spark of life is dimmed with every blinding flash. Death is everywhere, pillaging the promise of the future.
Well, that was unfair. How was I supposed to know that? Yeesh.
An amalgam of memories. Let's just see how it fares. It is the midst of the storm surge. Countless lives are lost in a senseless conflict. War swells in scope and intensity. Rain down without pause or mercy. The spark of life is dimmed with every blinding flash.
Allow me!
Death is everywhere, pillaging the promise of the future.
There's a safe spot up there, but that's hard to get to. That was fun. Not bad. Too bad it's not dyeable.
Sphene?
The Endless he sent against us. They were from the time of the Storm Surge, before I was placed into stasis.
As far as we know, the only sector to escape the shutdown was the one containing Calix's memories. Assuming a chronological system, every other memory stored in that sector would belong to people who lived around the same period in history as he did.
Calix, how long have you pursued this madness?
We seem to have exhausted his defenses for the moment. I say we take advantage of this lull to press on.
Time to go up to spinny thing.
Calix!
Well done. I commend your perseverance. The entirety of my memories are stored within this device. In the early stages of Endless creation, we established several core tenets. One is a prohibition on memory duplication. Despite the inherent risks, I agree and abide by this. Memories are the essence of the self, and should not be diluted. We each have our goals. You seek to destroy your target. I seek to reclaim the key. Shall we forego the posturing and begin?
Do not doubt that we are here to fight, and I do not mean to lose. Yet, as one born of the same era, I must ask, why do you pursue your evolution with such fervor? What do you hope to achieve with this eternal existence?
Your question is meaningless. I have ascertained a superior path to mankind's preservation, and that which must be done is that which I can do. What other reason do I require? Surely you have seen it. Traditional survival strategies are at odds with an increasingly complex society, leading to a breakdown of order. This course promises no liberation from pointless conflicts or inane tragedies. Physical traits do not represent the limit of our potential. Why then should we relinquish that potential when our hearts cease to beat? I realized it was past time that we corrected our heading. Nothing more.
Even then, you were always so single-minded. I too have a vision for the future, and your plan is not a part of it. I won't let you harm another Alexandrian.
Then fight we must. Thankfully, the entity I now summon will make short work of you and your comrades.
A summoning.
What now? What was that? A chill? No, something else. I feel so cold. So weak.
A Across Alexandria, a certain emotion is taking hold. The fear of death. Terror for the eternal darkness that will, without fail, engulf the lives of every living thing.
Oh, Necron.
Allow me to introduce it to you.
At least his appearance makes more sense than the actual FF9.
I got it! I got one! $4,999! That's how many people he said they were up to! I made it just in time. Now to register. Death can't touch me now. I'm free of all that crushing fear. Forever.
Ah, so it's tempered 5,000 people. That's why I need 5,000 people.
To all who have acquired a Neo-regulator. We have reached our total of 5,000 registered users. The day of deliverance you were promised will soon be upon us.
Oh, give it back! I don't want to die. I don't want to die. You think that's what I want?
Remember now. Remember your fear of dying. That terror will carry you across the threshold. Make of you an endless. Your prayers will birth a miracle which commands death itself.
What in the... What's going on?
Securing the requisite ether is simple. I need only reroute lightning energy from living memory. Then I encourage the populace to define its form through hope and thought and prayer. Such an abstract method, however, is rife with unpredictable elements. What I wanted was an entity that could defeat you with utmost certainty. To that end, I set strict parameters for a concept of my own design. It was a laborious task, one that required almost more time than I had, but I managed it in the end. And now, everything is in readiness. I bid you, come forth.
What is that?
A primal summoning, and one defined by a concept, no less. How did he learn such techniques? Keep these close.
I would presume Ascians.
That is a false deity, brought into being through the prayers of the desperate and the hopeful. The talismans will protect your minds from being enthralled.
I forgot we had those.
Do you still mean to stand against me? That remains to be seen.
I'm gonna do the NPCs.
Those who obstruct evolution shall suffer the rotting fate of all flesh. You are bound by the limits of flesh. It will betray you. Drag them to their graves. There.
Wow. Memento Mori.
Do you not see? Death is upon you. Perhaps this. Kill them.
There is not
December. Kill them. Fear compounds fear, eroding your strength.
Are you all right?
I will reduce you to ether. You will die for me now.
You'll not escape this!
Pretty cool so far.
We mustn't hold back! Hold still.
Accepting death is the greatest sin a life can commit. The endless darkness engulfs me. Still alive. But there are ways to change that. There. Those who do not resist death deserve it. I am prepared for you. Kill them.
Hold still!
I don't know how to tell the difference. They look the same to me.
Fight, if you must.
Are you all right?
There. You struggle in vain.
Try this!
Once the terror takes root, it will only continue to grow. Kill them.
Fuck, do you tell the difference?
Fear compounds fear, eroding your strength. I will reduce you to ether.
No, you will not.
Hold still.
Those who do not resist death deserve it. I am prepared for you. Kill them.
Yeah, that was a bit too easy. Surely you didn't think a Primo would beat us.
Is it over?
Now, the memory bank.
It's shielded.
I invited you to destroy it. I did not say I would let you. It is clear your strength cannot be gauged by ordinary means. But I anticipated as much.
What did you do to it?
The ignorance is almost laughable. You do not understand that you yourselves are to blame. You brought death to my creation. What do you suppose happens when a being manifested by the fear of dying experiences that terror firsthand? It grows stronger.
I feel it again. That same weakness.
It will rise again and again until the lightning which infuses this entire world has been drained to its last spark. You fight a losing battle.
God damn you!
Harnessed in this manner, does it not demonstrate just how powerful mankind's aversion to death truly is? You will not prevail against this foe. I, meanwhile, will continue my crusade against mortality. So long as our memories... That is the promise I offer.
So long as our memories endure. This is wrong, Calix. You twist the meaning of those words. They are not meant to teach the living that physical death is nothing to fear. They are meant to offer comfort to those we leave behind. I know that litany all too well. I heard it time and time again over the course of the war. Help me, Shale. I must speak to Alexandria. Make my voice heard.
Nahe, don't you recognize me? Nahe!
What's happening? What's wrong with them? What will become of us?
Fellow Alexandrians, please, heed my words.
What now? Another broadcast? I know that voice.
Death can be frightening and terrible. I understand the desire to forget, to seek eternal life and be freed from fear. Yet, we live in this world in the here and now, the bearers of memories varied and rich. Our worries can weigh heavy, and there may be nights when the darkness feels like more than we can bear. But if we can endure those dark hours, the world will always brighten come the dawn. And in the chill of that new morning, will the memories of loved ones be there to warm us and carry us forward? So do not forget their passing. Let them be our courage. Fear not a life well lived. For one day, the memories we leave behind will be the warmth another needs when their morning finds them.
What is this reaction? An irregular factor in the equation. Eliminate her.
No, you don't!
Memories cannot be duplicated, but they can be transferred.
A pretty cool cutscene.
Leave the primal to us. Hurry and take care of that memory bank.
Gave her my word! I promised I would protect her people!
And we will protect them! Together! The others.
Yeah, we get the main character moment. That's pretty cool.
Careful.
You're badly hurt. You'd be lucky if you only broke a bone or two. It won't be long until your fever rises. We need to see you back to Tuliyollal and into the care of a chirurgeon.
I kept my promise.
Thank you, Lamity.
Finally over. After dealing the last blow, I hadn't a drop of Aether left to spend. Thank you for seeing it through to the end. Luke Calyx was working transfer his memories at the end there, but he vanished at the exact moment the device exploded. We must have stopped him just in time. Or not. Probably not. Phew, 'tis good to be out of that terminal. What of you? No injuries or lingering ill effects. Let us bask in the victory a moment, shall we? We can take stock once we've had a chance to recuperate. Did regain consciousness, but worry not. Lamity will be fine. Been in touch with Valkoana, and he has made arrangements to convey her home, by which he means to come and fetch Lamity himself, apparently. Given the extent of her injuries and exertions, she'll likely spend many days abed. Oh, Wuklamot. You just can't help yourself, can you? Like a certain someone that said we couldn't have done it without you. Once you had the barrier down, you saw to it that Calyx's stored memories were destroyed along with the memory bank, which means preservation is no more, I pray. No longer will Calyx dictate the course of our people. No longer will our grief be locked away or forgotten. Freedom to feel joy and sadness, to feel all that we are meant to experience, is in the hands of Alexandrians once more. I can never thank you enough. When we are rested and ready, we shall have to conduct a thorough investigation into how Calyx came to know that summoning ritual. Ascians, of course. Aye, for where there are primals, the Ascians. Oh, he even said it himself. Okay. And you must consider that those who offered up prayers during the summoning may very well have fallen under the entity's sway. Wait here with their patient until Valkoana arrives. Feel free to go on ahead and tend to Alexandria's needs in the meantime. Yes, we should get going. I'll contact Shell en route and ask for an update on the situation in the city. Shall we make for the outskirts first then? We can check on things there before heading into Everkeep. Keep forgetting I can walk and mount. Give us an abridged explanation of primals and their enthralling influence. Too much detail would overwhelm her. We'll speak with Shell and Erenville. I'll share the news with everyone in just a moment. Thank goodness, things are much calmer than I anticipated. No signs of recent violence. The soldiers have been behaving, at least. Okay, everyone has been teaching me what it means to be enthralled by a primal. The outskirts seem untouched by trouble as far as I could tell, but what if something awful has happened? Deep breaths between Erenville and Shell have brought me up to speed. First off, just as we fear, those who adopted new regulars appear to have been enthralled. So far, however, they've not shown any hostility towards others. Suspect this is due to the calming effect of your broadcast. Government administrators are presently working with the rest of the citizenry to bring the afflicted into the care of the authorities, and I'm happy to report that this seems to be proceeding in a largely peaceful manner. It's all well and good, but the city officials are understandably requesting the explanation of events. Ra, Cryo, would you be able to handle that? Certainly, we shall return to aid with the treatment efforts forthwith. Meanwhile, I suggest you look in on the people who fought so very hard to save. It may ease your mind to see the fruits of your efforts firsthand. Thank you again. How very fortunate we are to have you as our allies. I can go unlock EX now. I may have to cut short to go cook. Forget thee not the hand of death, for I shall fill its grip. May queenly feet lay down thy fears, dark prayer be on thy lip. Forget thee not the hand of death, for even endless sin. Queen awoke, stoke thee thy hope, on heels of light ascend. Blades in waiting. Aaron and Shell are both relieved to learn of our victory. I could practically hear tension drain out of their voices, especially Shell's. She's quite worried for us. Fiend's identity will not remain a secret much longer. Her message touched the hearts of people throughout the kingdom. Ah, so this is the place where Muhasa works. Back in Resolution, she seemed most interested to learn about me, and I would be glad to learn much more of them as well. Look who it is. Good to see you again. Hale and healthy. I'm sorry we did not get word to you sooner. How is everyone? Well, nothing terrible befell us. As such, the irregular crowd did all start acting strange at the same time, though. Pepoano is one of them. I'm told the authorities are tending to him at a medical facility. Needn't worry, with proper treatment, we'll soon have everyone back to their normal selves. Sure, I'm glad to hear that. I'd like to not lose any more friends, if it can be helped. I also hear that the Queen's Fiend who tried enticing us to become endless turned out to be an imposter. kind of heartless villain preys on people's insecurities like that? Calyx, of course. Yet despite the danger to yourselves, you and yours made sure to put a stop to it, if I understand things correctly. Then we owe you a debt of gratitude. It's up to each of us now to make the most of what you've given us. We're alive because of you, and while we live and breathe, our future is ours to decide. Broadcast was a message of hope, for me, for everyone. I really should be going. We still have to keep things running without head upon any others, so the outskirts need all the spare hands they can get. Is there anything I might do to help heal the enthralled? Quite a lot, in fact. Could very much use a mage of your ability. Actually, this would be a good opportunity to round up other arcane practitioners and teach everyone how to use the Porxies. The knowledge will come in handy for treating Levanon's sickness as well. Wonderful. I shall petition Ghassan to spread the word. Our outskirts tour is cancelled, it would seem. By the way, Rasika, Alphinaud told me that Koana arrived to escort Lamachi back to Tuliyollal. Alphinaud himself will be returning to Alexandria momentarily, so between the two of us, I think we sort out the treatment arrangements. Given all that, I had in mind to ask you a different favor. Do you mind looking in on Gulool Ja? According to Shell, he's been running around the kingdom, determined to personally solve every problem. As she heard, he was pitching in over at the drifts down to Erenville. If you ask Tapu, I believe her name was, she should be able to point you in the general direction. Actually, this is probably where I should stop and do supper, so... Yep. That's that for now.